This is Brian, Atlanta Hot Tub Center and Tub Talk 101, and today we are going to demo the J400 Series by Jacuzzi. Now, guys, we sell both Jacuzzi and Sundance. I think you know that from this channel. We love both brands. It just depends what it is that you value, and that's what you should do. They're very different products. That's why we love them, because ultimately we think that one of these products, no matter what, would be for the end consumer. So here we go. Let's jump in. Again, 400 Series demo, okay? This first button here is your jet button. You hit it, both the jet pumps are going to come on, but you can simply turn them off, turn them on. Very, very, very simple. This one here inverts the panel. So if you want to read the panel that way, or you want to read the panel this way, okay? Here's your water care button, okay? And this is how you set some of this stuff. So you can see how much time is left, right? 22 months on the ozone or what have you. But when you want to set your time, you press the time there and you set the actual time. And I always say it's really important to set the time, because there's some presets from the factory for filter cycles, blowout cycle, things like that. And you want those to go off at the right time. So it's very, very important that you set your time. Okay, and over here, you can press this stuff, but this isn't going to press anything. The only thing that presses on this panel is the actual time. This is just a reminder of how long you have on these two items until you would have to replace them. Okay, that's the water care button there. Temperature up and down goes all the way up to 104, goes all the way down to 80 degrees. It's up to you where you want it to be. And it will go to 106. There's a bypass on the board to go to 106 if you're still a little chilly, but I'll tell you, 104 is pretty hot. You got your light button here, okay? Now, obviously, you can see here that there's different ways to turn different lighting off. So IR is your infrared lighting. Jacuzzi's equipped with some infrared lights. So that's how you turn those off and on. This is where you set the speed. So you turn your lights on, plus, okay? And then you can pick what color in the color wheel that you would like, okay? We can hit the plus button so that it's brighter, right? You can see here that it goes bright and less bright. And then if you hit over here, all the way to the right, okay, where you see these 5 lines, you can see that down here it says speed 3. That's rotating through the different colors. That's what it's doing. So it's rotating through purple and orange and yellow. And you can see all the colors here on the color wheel. So that's how you do that. Okay, if you want just one specific color, well, you just hit the color wheel and go around to what color you want. Okay, that's the brightness. Okay, right? So hitting this is the brightness of the corners. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. So to get your corner lights on, you're going to hit this button. Okay, your brightness for the lights of the actual hot tub are here and here, like I explained previously. I just want to make sure that I clear the air there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's how you turn your corner lights on. And obviously, it's got a couple of bright settings there, right? Okay, all right, so that's the light. All right, music, if you have music, there it is. Very simple. Hit the on button. It's not going to work if you don't hit the on button. Once you hit the on button, you got to connect it through your phone to the Bluetooth. Okay? Connect it through your phone to the Bluetooth. All right, and that's how you're going to go forth and be able to play music. Okay? Your gear icon. Okay? You can see through here information units. Don't worry about that. But you have heat mode. Okay? Auto, economy, day. If you're in a hot climate, you want to be in economy most of the time. If you're in a cold climate, you want to be in auto most of the time, right? Or if you're like here in Georgia, okay, then you want economy in summer and you want auto in winter. Why? Because if you put it into economy mode, the tub's going to run and be set up to run a little bit cooler. The water temperature is going to be a little bit cooler. If you're in auto and you're on heat on demand, the water temperature is not going to be a little bit cooler. It's going to use everything in the hot tub to maintain 102, 103, 104 degrees, which may be a little bit too warm for you depending on what climate you're in, okay? Water care, this is how you're going to reset all of your, it's how you're going to reset all your reminders. So you go into here and you can see, right, it says water refresh, that's drain and refill, or here's your filter when your filter needs to be replaced, or when you need to replace your ozone, right? This thing's going to tell you, which I think is great, right? It's good that it pops up on the screen. It says clean the filter. Pops up on the screen. It says clean the depth load filter, right? I mean, it's important to maintain it to be able to truly enjoy it. So Jacuzzi knows that, so they put these reminders in place. And if you need to reset one of the reminders, you just press on it and you go back to 90 days and you just set it. That's it. Now it's coming preset from the factory, right? So you don't really have to mess with this now. But if you get a reminder that pops up, you'll know how to manage it accordingly. Okay, so let's go back into the gear icon. We were in water care. Lock is locking the tub down. If you were going on vacation and you didn't want anything to work except for the heat, that means no jets, no lights, nothing like that, you could lock the whole tub down by going in there and locking. Of course, this is another place to set your time and date. Remember, on the front, on the original home screen, you could set the time, but you couldn't set the date. So it's important in here to come and set the date. Of course, you've got whatever language that you want, but again, I wouldn't worry about units or information, okay? So that's the settings. Now we're gonna talk about the overall operation of the hot tub itself. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the inside of the hot tub itself and how it operates. Now, I don't wanna get too technical, okay? So I'm gonna try to keep it basic, but I wanna give you an understanding. So a jet pump has an intake and a discharge. Water comes in the intake, there's an impeller in there, and it shoots it out the discharge. From that discharge, where all the pressure is coming out, it goes into this big valve and that big valve over there. And if you have a J400 series, you're going to have at least 2 valves. Okay? So that means one jet pump's coming into there, one jet pump's coming into there. Then you turn these to divert water. I say it again, water around the actual hot tub into the different jets in the hot tub. Now, it's a mixture of air and water that create the pressure, create the action in the jetting, right? So how do we introduce the air? You see these switches here? Okay? So, you divert the water to your 2 favorite seats and you got maximum pressure. Okay? Then you turn these two down and you got the air and water coming out together, so you're getting that really good hydrotherapeutic value of the hot tub, right? You're getting that hydrotherapy that you paid for, right? Okay, now if you want to customize the massage, right? Because these divert water, this just turns air on to your whole section, but maybe you don't want air on your whole section, right? That's when you can turn the outer collar of the actual jet itself to turn the air off and on per a specific jet in the actual hot tub. Okay? So if you have one jet that's really not spitting out any pressure, most likely you need to turn that valve. Okay? Now, it's always very, very, very important. I know this particular video is not about maintenance, and we have other videos on that, but I always say make sure to clean your filter every single month. Guys, it's very, very, very important to the operation of the hot tub and making your filter last as long as it possibly can. So I say it again, please clean your filter every 30 days. This is Brian at Atlanta Hot Tub Center and a J400 Series demo. Thank you.